Hello everyone, this is Paula, and today we're going to try to get most of the pages done in the Traveler's Notebook designed by Lynette at Chic, and I will list her below. Okay, so it may be this video and one more, or it may be this video. Okay, so let's get started. I went ahead and added the cherry paper over the paper right here because it's so time consuming to do those, and I knew I was going to add another page over here, so I didn't want it to be. I've been covering a lot of pages during this making of or designing of this book, because it has just worked out that everything I've wanted to do has paper in the background, mostly because I think it's the fruit papers are so pretty that I just want to use them as much as possible. Now, before you go out, if you have bought this book, and before you go out and buy a bunch of paper, look through all your stash first. I went through every book I had, and the majority of it I did not buy. So you don't have to spend a lot of money decorating it, I guess is my point. Dig through your stash and see what you have that has to do with fruits. Check dollar bins like at Michael's and different places that have them. Like Target has dollar bins. And sometimes they have a section with, you know, scrapbooking stuff. So whatever works the best for you. You know, get you some fruit napkins if you can, if you find some. If not, it's not a big deal. So I glued all over the back of this, just a basic red check. And this is some of that really thin cardstock, which is great if you have it because it doesn't bulk up as much. So this book is going to be a little more bulked up than normal because I went crazy putting paper on here. After you do that, go on the opposite side and just rub it. Now, if there's a little bit of hangover, you just trim it off right now. If you have trouble getting glue everywhere, put something under whatever page you're working on. And I think you'll be happier if you don't, you know, screw up your previous page. Almost off here. Getting real close. Okay. There we go. Now, this is all of our base stuff. Now, right here, this has a flap. All right. And so I went inside, and anything I didn't want sticking down into the pocket, I kind of glued down. But, you know, you can look at it and decide. Don't glue down the sides in the beginning. Just anything that you don't like that might be sticking out in the actual pocket. Now here we have this, and we're going to add glue to this, and we're going to just go from bottom to top right here, and we're going to make this a very tiny pocket. And you just close it back down like this, and make sure none of your ink or your glue is leaking out, because you don't want it to stick to your red check. Okay, now we have our pocket. Right here is a pocket. Oops, but you gotta wait for it to dry. Just FYI. This part here that has the ugly part of the bag, which is the bottom, I just cut another piece of cherry paper out, and I'm gonna glue it right here, and it just makes for a design. When I use two different kinds of papers, or three kinds, or whatever, I don't put them on top of each other. Like, I don't put a pocket with cherries on top of cherries and checks on top of checks. I alternate, and that helps give it a different, you know, look and a design. You just always want to make sure your paper's in the upright position for the print. Okay, let's see. So that's on. So we've got all of our base stuff done. Make sure it's not got glue coming out. Okay. there we go. Now, we're going to add a pocket here and a pocket over here. Now, just so you know, I have other cherry papers. This has little blue checks with cherries. This came out of a authentic 6x6 pad that I just had laying around. And I think, no, it goes over here. It goes on this side. I'm using a lot of pockets in this journal because I love writing on tags. And I love the pockets. I don't always do that, but I do have through this process. And so the red checks go in here, which alternates it, and this blue one is going here under the other kind of blue. Now I made a tag also out of the checks with cherries. Now on the other side is pink cherries, but I'm not using that in this one. And this is going to go here. I'm kind of showing you where my head is on this, but let's get the pockets down first, and then we'll continue with that part. I hope you guys are having a good day. We're having the craziest time right now because we're just put our house up on the market, or we will this week. And yeah, it's crazy. So we hope it sells pretty quick so we can be a little more stress-free. Okay, so here we go. Put this down here. Okay. Okay. There we go. Got that one down. Those are pretty easy. So you just cut probably about a 3.5 or 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 page to make your pockets. That's all there is to it. And then I just use a circle punch to make like a little divot at the top to use to show it's a pocket. And then these are all flat pockets in this book because there's not room to put something that will really bulk up. Just kind of line it up with the pocket beside it. Let me bring it down just a little bit more. There we go. And I always bring it more toward the outside because the spine, if you put it too close to the spine, you end up having a little bit of problems. Now, let me think what I did. I took this out of the Prima Fruit collection that's out, you know, out of the paper pad, and I just cut it out. It was one of the journaling cards, and this has cherries on it, and I just inked it. Now, I decided not to cover the back because you have a big space here to journal, and I just slipped it right in here. That's where that goes. Now, I stamped some cherries with a little stamp that I had that had cherries on it. And I'm going to put it right here, but I'm not going to do that yet. And then we're going to bring the tag over that I showed you a minute ago. Everything is already inked. You want to ink everything lightly. And then on this one, I may go back and add something on the back. I haven't decided yet. I don't want to waste our video time doing that. Okay, but if you want to put something on the back, you can. And this is going to go right in this pocket, but I'm going to wait till that dries. But in the meantime, we're going to decorate this. I had a leftover heart from the Valentine kit, but you can do it with any heart punch. I'm going to use some green seam binding. If you don't have green, all you have to do is use like a distress spray, or you can use an actual distress ink pad and just put it down, add some water to it, and run your seam binding through it, and you can get green. This came off of a strand of the red pom-poms. And I just put them on here, I glued them on here, and then I tied around them some, I don't know, I just fiddled till I got it on here. And so I have a little bit of a dimensional set of cherries. And it's going to go I put it on the hearts because it just looked cute. And I'm going to put the hearts, I'm going to stick this on the tag. Okay, then this is going to go in one of the 2 pockets. And then I just cut let me tell you how long it is. A 7 1/4 length. And it's 1 1/4 wide. Or wait a minute, I'm sorry. 2 1/4 wide. And I sent, this is, you can write on the back of that, but this is another tag. These 2 I think go together. Can't remember, I've done so many. And then I cut this 3 1/2 by 4 1/4 square. And this is going to be a journaling card. Okay? And we're going to put this journaling card inside this bag. The inside of the actual bag. Just like that. And it's going to be a journaling card there. So I try to put as many journaling cards and things that I can because that's what I like to write on. And I'm going to put this here, but I want to find some red twine or some kind of twine to tie around the bottle. Now, we also have this. I think I ended up putting it here. Yeah, I think that's what I did. And oh, I have this cherry recipe card. Wild cherry, it says. And it's also going to go in this pocket with the cherries up. We're going to put it facing the front of the bag. And then we'll flip this other one over and let it face the back of the bag. Okay? So we've got that all done up. Now, we've got this side has a journaling card. So we're going to flip it over and we're going to glue this cherry thing down. I think that's what I did. You know, I do these way ahead, so I have to stop and think how I want them to work. And it's squeaking at me, so we'll see what we can do. Now, I'm just going to add a little bit of glue. I'm just going to put it around the edges and squiggle in the middle. And then I'm going to flatten this so it's, you know, easier to put it on here. And I'm just going to try to center it the best I can. I go up, then I go down. Awesome. Okay. That's really simple to do. The hard part of these designs, because I do a lot of it ahead of time, and that's why I'm just explaining to you, because they're pretty self-explanatory if you cut shapes and use corner. I did use the corner rounder on that. And so it's all real simple. You just cut these 2 to fit the page, which would be 8 1/2 by 4 1/4. And then cut the pockets the same way. The bag would already be there. So I'm going to get some just regular twine. And I'm going to cut a little piece off to tie around this little jar. And we're just going to tie a little knot, not a bow, because that's just too much bulk. Okay. Let me get my fingers working. It's trying to come out of my little loop. There we go. Just like that. And then I'm going to tie a knot and then cut it shorter. If I can get it to work. My fingers are so stumbly. Okay, here we go. Now this can slip off. So you want to just kind of cut these, you know, where it looks like you just tied a raggy old knot around them. Now this will come off, but what I'm going to do is just take a piece of Scotch tape on the back just to hold it down like that, because we're going to glue it, and then we're going to glue it right down here. Okay, I think that's what I wanted to do. Let me wait till I'm sure that's what I want to do. I can't remember. That's terrible. I'm thinking that I used it on something. Maybe the pockets, or maybe this goes over here. I think it does. Or maybe it goes here. Nope, it goes here. We're going to put it right here. And then we'll put the mason jar on the other side. Come on, come on, come on. My glue is not cooperating. And we're just going to put, you know, glue where we need it to hold the cherries down. Right here. We're just kind of doing a little angle. I just cut them off of a card of some sort. Or maybe even paper. Maybe some of the paper. All right, so now over here, we've got this tag that we could put right here. But first we want to put some of the, let me grab it. We got a bag of twine in the kit. So it comes like this. And I'm going to use that because I do like fluffy stuff coming out of the top of the kit. So we've got blue going on here. We've got red and gray and silver, or gold, I mean. And so we can do, I think we should do the blue for sure. We've got blue eyelash. And I think we should do the red. This one is not eyelash, but it's similar. Yeah, it's got what I call eyelashes. You never know, right? All right, so I'm going to line these up, and I'm going to cut it in half and use them on 2 different tags. Okay, I'm just going to cut them both right in half. Now, you'll use 1/2 on this tag and 1/2 on the other tag. Okay, so we're going to just put it through. I just put my toppers because I don't want them coming off. I don't do any kind of fancy thing. I just tie them. Because they're slippery, when you tie them, they'll try to come off if you don't double tie them. Okay? Or you can put a little bit of glue down by where it knots, and that will hold it. Now, when you're dealing with 2 strings, it gets a little trickier, but I got lucky and it worked fine. Now, you can even them up or just leave them. You know, I got that one a little off, so I'm going to trim it off. There we go. So that's going to go in here. And I like the way that looks. That worked out great. Now, we also have this little guy. And I think I'm just going to use this little extra piece of twine. That's a big, giant hole, isn't it? Maybe we won't put anything in that because I think it'll look better. It's a claim check. Okay, those come in the kit. Let me think now. Over here, we're going to do this tag. And we're going to glue that heart with the cherries down. Okay, so we're just going to line it up under the hole on the tag. And just kind of hold it there for a second till you know it's trying to stay down. Okay, and now we'll get our other eyelash trim. Make sure they're kind of lined up and even. Okay, now we'll put them on. If I can get my fingers to work right here for me this time. So we're just going to go, let's go through the back, but be careful because you've got your cherries drying. Okay. This stuff wants to go every direction but the right direction, so it will be something you have to have a little patience to get it in. Okay. And if you have to put them in one at a time, that's not a big deal either. You can do that. I'm just kind of stuffing them through there and pulling them. There we go. Okay. Okay, now I'm just going to tie the twine and double tie. And go ahead and give, when you get through doing this twine, trim it where you want it. And I usually end up with eyelashes all over my thing, but make sure your little cherries are gluing properly, and they are. So now we're just going to slip it down. Don't get it into the glue on each side of the pocket, and don't push it all the way in until you know you're safe. Now I'm going to go ahead and put this little jar right there. I can't decide. I kind of like it there too, but then I wouldn't have anything for over here. So I'm putting it there. My glue is going wild. It's got an eyelash in it, so we wipe that off. Now I'm just going to glue it down like we would normally. Make sure you don't put glue, you know, where it's going to be above the pocket. Okay. Let me see. So just a little bit right there. Okay. Bring it down as low as you can and tilt it just a little bit to the left. So see, me getting these ready ahead of time, if there's anything I think that you can't do on your own, I would not put it together. Now, but it just saves time and we can get more accomplished that way. Now I'm going to move this trim over, getting stuff everywhere. All right, now this page is done. And it was that simple. Now, it is time consuming to put everything together before you do it in your actual book. But you use your book as you're designing it and see what it's going to end up like. So we have this and this. And yeah, I wasn't sure at first. I said to myself, and I know this is crazy, those are apples. But it's very obvious they're cherries. Okay. So now we're going to go to the next page, which is going to be bananas and pineapples. Bananas and pineapples. I think that'll be fun. So I put number 8 on it. So I'm going to find page that I marked 8. I do that because it just makes life a whole lot easier if I know which page I designed it on. You just erase the number afterwards. You put a number on your designs, and then you go back and, guess I put it this way. Or I've passed it completely. I guess I did. Where are you, number 8? Probably closer to the front. Okay. 12 and 3. Where are you, 8? There it is, finally. I went ahead and put the banana and pineapple page here because it just takes so long to do all that during a video. So you guys know how to glue a piece of cardstock or whatever down onto a page, I'm sure. I have faith in you. Okay, so now this is getting bulkier and bulkier. So what we're going to do is I have everything inked, and I did do some sewing on this page. And I may put some flowers on there. We'll just have to see. So I want to show you what I did. I took a piece of this scrapbook paper to a guest check, one of the green ones, if you have a green one. And I just slanted it and made it like a pocket. And then I stitched it around the left side and on the bottom. And then I had this little package that came out of the $2 spot at Joann's that had these cute little pineapples. And so I just put this pineapple here. Okay, now I think I'm going to use that on this side of the page. Now, if you don't have a sewing machine, you can just glue where I've stitched and it won't be that big of a difference. Okay, so right now we're not going to put anything on here. I did trim off the top where she pulled it out of the spiral notebook. So here's this. Now over here, you guys have seen me make these over and over. If you have trouble with them, you just go back a few videos and I show where I do these in the Christmas in July series. Okay, it's just it's 2 book pages here, 2 book pages here, 2 book pages here. That's the thickness. You just glue 2 pieces together, and then this is just a folded over 1 page book page. And then I just covered this portion with brown paper and this portion with the pineapple and banana page. And then I just stitched around it, or you can glue around it. And I inked it and stuff like that. And I made it smaller than what it would normally come out so that it could fit right here. I don't know if this is the side I put this on or not. Give me a second. I got to make sure. I think I put it here because both things I made are kind of big. And yeah, that's not what I did, I don't think. But I think I want to do that because this little thing will fit better on a flatter page than on a curvier side of the page. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put that there. This here, I just changed my mind from my original design. Okay, so this goes here. Now, I picked up some banana cards in a vintage store, and that's going to go right inside this pocket, okay? And you can decide which way you want it in there. You can kind of flip it up and do whatever. But this is going to be completely glued down. Now, if you were doing it and you wanted a pocket behind this, you would just glue around the outsides and not the top, of course, and put a tag in that section. So let's glue this down real quick. I'm not going to put a pocket back there, so I'm only going to glue around the back. My glue is getting low, so I'll have to fill it before I do another video. There we go. And if you have trouble getting it to hold down, just clip the edges and it will help. Just like put a little clip on there that holds the page hold the pages together. Okay, there we go. Just make sure you got it in the right position. I could have pulled it all the way to the spine, but I wanted that part to, you know, not bulk up the spine any more than it is already. And I think it's fine doing that. In the beginning, I probably would have put it on the other side if it was one of the first ones I did. But it's fine. Okay, so that's this side for now. I may change that up. You just never know. Now I'm going to take this and glue it down, but I realized I didn't ink right here. Forgot to do that. And over here, I think that's good. Okay, so come on glue. It has a little, it's got a little air pocket in it for some reason. All right, there we go. If it doesn't cooperate, it's going to get tossed. Oh, there we go. If you just squeeze it and then start letting it go. This is another thing, you could make a pocket in the back if you wanted to. But I have enough pockets in this book to last me a lifetime. Okay, here we go. I don't do it like this in my journals usually, but I do it in my traveler's notebooks that are for me. Okay, pull it to the outside, line it up, make sure it's right, and then hold it for a second in all the corners if you can. Because it is a little heavier than some of the items in your book. And if you have glue seeping out, be sure you clean that up so it doesn't stick to the neighbor page. Okay, all right. All right, I think it's going to stay down. Yeehaw. Now, I ended up with an extra pocket for some reason. And what I did is I took and cut scraps of paper into little triangles. And I took our little mini CD, and I put those down in there. But I also I had a little ephemera pack of pineapples that I just glued a pineapple here. Don't just drop it in because it'll go everywhere. I just glued it inside right there, made sure the glue didn't get anywhere else, and then I put those in and made a little shaker card. Okay, now it has to have somewhere to go. I didn't like it in here because it really covers it up. So I had this extra pocket. So I decided, do I put it on this side? No, I didn't want it on that side. So, because this side's flatter. So I'm going to put this extra pocket here, just because I don't want to not be able to use my shaker card. And I wanted it on this design, so you're just going to put your glue around the outsides. Leave the top open, and a little bit of glue in the middle there. Let me get it off. I did stitch across this, zigzag across this, just a straight line. Now I'm thinking I'm going to bring it down to the edge of this paper and out to the edge of the paper. Normally I would write on this paper, but I'll just have one side to write on this time. Now we have this down nice and neat, and this will fit and hold our little shaker. Don't put it in now because it's still drying. Okay, and up here I have 2 yellow flowers. Now, I don't know if I'm going to use them both or not. I think I'll just use one. I'll just have to see. 1 or 2. Either one will be okay. Come out of there. Oh, I happen to have 4. So that works out. Okay, now I'm going to put, I think I'm going to put one of each kind right here. Maybe put the white one, the white and yellow, more towards the spine. Okay, so those are all the flowers we're going to use, and I'm going to glue those down, and then we'll go to the other side. I do want to use my word pineapple at some point. I haven't done that yet. Now I'm going to do like this. Glue that down. then put the other one down. Come on. All right. So we just have two little flowers there to fill in that space, pretty much is what it's for. Now we're gonna, let me erase this number 8 so I don't forget. Now, then we'll have that shaker right there. Now we're gonna flip over to the other side. Now this is where we'll write, maybe. It might be too bumpy to write there, and that's no big deal. So I'm thinking, why not put the word pineapple right there? This is pineapple and banana, so I'll have to come up with something banana to put there. I'll have to draw one or do something. Or I could put another banana card, and that would work. So either way, it's going to be bulky on both sides. So they put a little piece of double-sided tape on there. I'm going to take it off on this one because it'll make it too fat, too bulky. I can get it to come off. Sometimes it's on there really good. And it's foam tape, so almost got it. Come off of there. And then we'll just get our tags, and we should be close to being done with that. Here, let's just see if we to cut it. It is not wanting to come completely off. So we'll just cut it as low as we can. Okay, we're just going to put glue on here. All right. Let's go right here. I'm putting it up to the right edge. And I'm not going to do it right now, but later I'm going to come back and write "and banana." I may get my stamps out and do that. And so you can, I'll kind of flip through it during the next video when we're done. And you can see it at that time. Right now I'm going to move on because we want to get done. Okay, so on this, I made a tag for this book page contraption I made here. And I took the pineapple and banana paper and I sewed with a blanket stitch. I love that stitch. It's my new favorite. Around this part. And we're going to put it in the top of the page. And then I made a small tag out of that same stripe. I had some scraps. And I took one of these little tags and added a pineapple and a banana. And I simply cut them out of the paper. Then I put a for sale there, and it's just dangling on there. So how much do we want our pineapples to be? I think if you get pineapples and bananas, it might be 99 cents. If you're lucky. That just came off the top of my head. They're really not 99 cents, I hope you know. Okay. This paper acts like it wants to smear. Probably should have used like a permanent marker, but we'll see what happens. Okay, now I had this little scallop punch that come in the kit. It has lemons on the other side, but I want the yellow side. And I just found this little tag in my stash. And I'm just going to glue that on to the scallop circle. Listen to it. It's making all kinds of noise. Okay. All right. Now, just lay it on here. And I did brown because, you know, there's brown in this page as well. And I'm going to put this right here, down in this lower pocket. Okay. And then, where do we want to put this? Maybe up here? Why not? You know, we'll just cover the whole pages. I go a little crazy. I just keep adding and adding. So, come on out, ink. We're almost done with this page. Let's put it right there. And I'll probably write bananas and pineapples there, but I'm not going to do it right now so we can move along. I need to check and see how much time we have. We have 2 more pages to complete this book, so I think I'm going to do those in the next video. But here is this page. Let's get our pineapple shaker card and put it right here. You can let it hang out a little or push it down, which is what I recommend because it'll be hanging in your way. Okay? So just don't let it touch the bottom and sides till they dry. But here's how this page turned out. And I'm going to write bananas here and bananas and pineapple at the top. This is a little sale ticket underneath. All right, and then the other page we did, let me see if I can get back to it. Right here is the cherry page. So let me check our time. I think it's close enough that we need to wait and do the other 2 in the next video. But first, I want you to know my friend Pat is here today. Hello. Say hi, Pat.
Working on my project. It's looking good, Paula. I love your designs.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Yes, I'm going to miss my friend Pat when it's time to go to Branson. But she's going to be making a lot of trips up there and have some entertainment in the town and also get to craft. So,
can't wait.
She's my buddy, so it's going to be hard. We'll be boo-hooing at the end of the next month. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video. And we're going to do peaches and I think another pineapple. Yeah, a different pineapple. All right, guys, see you next time. Bye.